Let us do Prarthana and start the session. Om Guru Brahma Guru Vishnu Guru Devo Maheshwara Guru Sakshat Parabrahma Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. The only Guru of three religions, Traita Thiram originator, Emperor of spiritual kingdom, Hindu virtual donor, sensational writer, author of more than 100 divine holy scriptures, Sri 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 Acharya Prabodhananda Yogeshwara. We are knowing the introduction about the Bhagavad Gita, interpreted by Sri 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 Acharya Prabodhananda Yogeshwara. So last week we knew some part of the introduction. We will continue moving forward. So last week we come to know that mythology and science both are different. It seems to be same books, but when we go internally and know the details, the matter inside the books, we will come to know that there are two kinds of books. One belongs to mythology, another belongs to the science. But there are the people who could not grasp what the details are there, so they will always speak arrogantly against the science, and they always speak that everything is science. If mythology is science, if why not mythology is science? That way they will fight. So they don't know the internal details, they don't know complete details of the matter, but they speak arrogantly. And another category, the people who teach the mythology, and later point of time when they come to know about the science, so they accept internally, but they never going to say outside, because they were always teaching mythology from the starting. So they got so many people, and after knowing the truth, if they reveal it and tell the people who are following them about the science, which is great, which is greater than the Puranas or mythology, then they will think that, so they may lose respect and honor in the society. So they will continue speaking against the Shastras, even though they know Shastras are great than the Puranas. And there is another category, the first category person, we can say, they love Shastras, science. They grasp the matter from the books, and they are able to separate science and the mythology. Those kind of people are very rare, we can say. And also, at one point of time, when people fond of Puranas, some people wanted to do some harm to the science. They created pseudosciences which are not at all science. They are Shiksha, Vyakaranam, Chandasu, Niruktamu, Jyotishamu, Kalpamu. So they are not even science, but they replaced original science. Actually, there are 6 sciences are there: mathematics, physics, chemistry, astrology, astronomics, and big education or Brahma Vidya. Out of 6, 5 of them belongs to the external world, and only one belongs to the eternal world or related to the Paramatma or absolute soul. So mythologies are just for time pass purpose, but science, Shastras are for the destruction of the karma. A human being must know about the Yoga Shastram or Brahma Vidya or super science in order to destroy his karma. It's very much important But the human being is not able to explain about that, since he doesn't know about the Yoga Shastram or Brahma Vidya or big education. He cannot teach any principles of the Brahma Vidya to destroy the karma. So, who has to teach that? Paramatma or God has to teach himself. But we know that God has no shape, no form, and no action or no work. How can he teach? He cannot teach it. But if you know, but you know one thing, so we are the mortal souls. We are also not visible. So we are inside the body, and with our body, so with our hands, we are able to draw lines. The same way, God also drew the line with the body called nature. But people may say that when God is invisible, if he drew a line with nature, why can't it is visible to us? That uh, they will question. So we need to understand that when we have a body, that body is visible to us and it has a perimeter. And the same way, when God takes a human form to teach the wisdom, so he is also having a body. The body is made up with the nature. With that nature, with the with that body, he drew the line. So God taught Yoga Shastram in India much more. There are three parts in the Yoga Shastram. All three parts completely taught by God Himself in India. Since India got lot of wisdom related to the God, so the people in India could understand the wisdom well. So based on the capacity, based on the grasping power, God explained three parts of Yoga Shastram much more in India itself. And also the divine scriptures came in other countries too. There, based on the people understanding power, God taught only one kind of only one part, much more over there. But in India, he taught complete wisdom here. So India got much more great name as Hindu country. Hindu means wisdom. So India flourished with a lot of wisdom. So he explained three parts in India. So what are those three parts? Those three parts are three dharmas, we can say, three righteousness paths, we can say. All three righteousness paths will make you to get liberation and get unification with the God. What are those parts? So the first part is called Gnana Yogam or Brahma Yogam. The second part is called Raja Yogam or Karma Yogam. The third part is called Bhakti Yogam or Vishwas Yogam, which is called, we can say, devotion. So it is related to surrenderance, we can say, surrender to the God. So the scripture which is containing three parts taught by God is was born in India first. So it's our lucky, it's our uh, we can say it's our lucky so to have such kind of great book, great scripture with us and that too it was taught by the uh, Bhagavan. It's taught by the Bhagavan. Bhagavan is the aspect of the Paramatma. Paramatma is invisible, Bhagavan is visible. So that scripture is called Bhagavad Gita. This Bhagavad Gita contains summary of the other scriptures too, other two scriptures. We can say Bible and Quran, whatever the summary is there in that summary is present in Bhagavad Gita. So none of the countries and none of the religions can question about Bhagavad Gita, since Bhagavad Gita belongs to every human being. So the wisdom taught in Bhagavad Gita, it can be applicable to any creature. So that's the greatness of the Bhagavad Gita. But what happened to this Bhagavad Gita, such a great special Bhagavad Gita? So some of the people made interpretation to Bhagavad Gita, but because of their interpretation, the greatness of Bhagavad Gita vanished, we can say. It's vanished totally. Because of that, because why it happened so is, the people who gave interpretation to Bhagavad Gita, so that interpretation did not make great to the Bhagavad Gita at all, since those people could not understand what are the three parts in the Bhagavad Gita. That is the main drawback over there. And also those people who wrote interpretation to Bhagavad Gita, they are completely immersed with Puranas or mythologies. They mixed mythology in their interpretation. So that's what. So so when they mixed that Puranas stories, mythology stories inside the Bhagavad Gita, so the other religious people, after looking into the Bhagavad Gita, um, they are laughing at that. They are laughing at the Bhagavad Gita. They are ridiculing the Bhagavad Gita. Not only that, some of the Hindu religious people also uh, looking down on the Bhagavad Gita. That is the very, very bad thing. And many people even didn't know that main source of scripture for Hindu religion is Bhagavad Gita. And also some people thought that they didn't even have the main source of the scripture in their religion, that is in Hindu religion. So it is better to move on to the other religion, get converted into other religion. So they got converted into other other religions to read to read Bible and Quran scriptures. They thought that so Hindus did not have any such kind of divine holy scripture with them. So the main reason for the people who are jumping from Hindu religions to Hindu religion to other religion is because they did not grasp the summary from the Bhagavad Gita, and also they did not even know the great value of the Bhagavad Gita. And also in Hindu religion, about 300 Swamijis gave interpretation to Bhagavad Gita. So this many interpretations probably other religions might not have for their divine holy scripture, but in Hindu religion we are able to see hundreds of Swamijis gave interpretation, though nobody is able to give answer. Even though we have so many interpretations for Bhagavad Gita, why people are jumping from Hindu religion to the into the other religion? And also that is the main thing that we need to. It's a considerable matter. It's a considerable matter. So even though we have the great scripture, people could not grasp it. and they are jumping from Hindu religion to other religions. Even now also in the rural areas, if you go to any village, if you ask them what is your divine holy scripture, so they are not even able to tell that it is Bhagavad Gita. So that's what the problem. And also the problem, it's most 90% of the people, they could not able to answer that question. And also if you take a village, so if the population is 1000, if you ask them to bring Bhagavad Gita, nobody is able to do that, because they don't even have that Bhagavad Gita in their homes at all. So the main reason is that Bhagavad Gita nobody could not understand in a scientific manner, and also the people who teach Bhagavad Gita, they fail to teach Bhagavad Gita scientifically. That's what the problem happened. And also the people who are teaching Bhagavad Gita, they knew much more about Puranas, and they mixed Puranas with the Bhagavad Gita teaching, that made so much harm to Bhagavad Gita. And also some people are telling much more about uh, Bhagavatam instead of Bhagavad Gita, and also also for uh, their wellness, their welfare, for their welfare, Bhagavatam is great. They are teaching that for our welfare we need to read Bhagavatam, and they kept the Bhagavad Gita away. And also the Bhagavad Gita, whatever they teach, that should be righteous, that should teach righteousness. Instead of that, it is teaching unrighteousness. So that way Bhagavad Gita lost its greatness. So now what we need is the Bhagavad Gita, which is Yoga Shastram. It should be scientifically, we should know with scientifically, and also we should have Bhagavad Gita in such a way that none of the religious people, none of the countries should criticize it. And also if there is any another religious person, he should also say that, oh, the Bhagavad Gita, we do have the same wisdom. So such kind of explanatory Bhagavad Gita we need. And also the Bhagavad Gita must answer the questions from uh, rationalists and atheists also. And also they should understand, and they should get answer to their questions, and they also should trust the God. Such kind of Bhagavad Gita is very very important, very very needed. It is needed. So to in order to know such kind of Bhagavad Gita, and we need to first know about the introduction of the Bhagavad Gita, that is called Gita Parchayam. So when we understand Gita Parchayam or introduction to Gita, then only we are able to understand the Bhagavad Gita easily. Sri 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 Acharya Prabodhananda Yogeshwarlu Swami clearly explained us the difference between Puranas and Shastras, mythologies and sciences. So we could understand very well. Puranas are for time pass, Shastras are for destruction of the karma. And he interpreted Bhagavad Gita as Traita Tiram Bhagavad Gita, and the Traita Tiram Bhagavad Gita is a great turning in the spiritual education. And in this Bhagavad Gita, fabricated shlokas or verses are removed, And also this Bhagavad Gita contains 17 chapters instead of 18 chapters. He provided the entirely uh, great notion to 50 verses or shlokas. It's a great revolution in the interpretation of Bhagavad Gita. And he removed all the matters related to the mythology in the Bhagavad Gita, and he made Bhagavad Gita completely pure pure. He purified Bhagavad Gita with science in it. So there are so many turnings happened, and that created Traita Siddhanta Bhagavad Gita, that is Traita Theorem Bhagavad Gita. So to read and understand completely, we must know about the Gita Parichayam, that is important. So let us know about what is Gita. So people may think that Gita means a song. Some people even say that Lord Krishna and Arjuna both sang a song in the battlefield. So if we have some rationality in our head, so when there is a war, there are always people think about fighting, how to fight, how to kill the people. They will not have any time pass. They will not have time to pass over there or sing a song over there. So we should know clearly what is Gita. So Gita means it's a boundary, or we can say it's a perimeter, or we can say border. So when we look back into Ramayana epic, in that Ramayana epic, Lakshmana drew a line. He told to Sita not to cross the line. When you are inside the line itself, you are safe. When you cross the line, you are unsafe, he told. In the same way, Bhagavan said that a mortal soul, if he is inside the line or border, he is safe. And there is a meaning to the humanity. And if you cross the line, there is no meaning to the humanity, he told. So since that border is border was drawn by God, so we are calling it as Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Gita means Bhagavan drew the line, so we called it as Bhagavad Gita. So when we are inside as the mortal soul, if we are inside the border or inside the line, so we will have the meaning to our mortal soul. So if we are inside that line or border, so we will get the divinity. So in order to explain that Bhagavan drew the line, some people even say that. So when we have this kind of meaning explanation from Swami, some people who could not grasp this notion with respect to the God, they say that you are saying that Gita means border or line. So how come you are saying that? Don't you know? We laugh at you. So we know so much from the dictionary which contains meanings, but you are going out of that and teaching us a strange meaning to the Gita. Don't you know? So they question like that. And also some of the people even wrote letters to Swami asking the answer to that. But Swami told us before itself that the writings, whatever he gives us, and whatever the teachings he he gives us, it should contain new matter always. Sensational matters he teaches. He never teaches somebody already taught that. He never writes somebody already wrote. So all his writings are completely new to us, and there are so many sensational matters we need to we will be knowing from the uh, Swami's writings. So if you go back into the history, so whatever Lord Krishna taught, the teachings nobody told earlier, and also Jesus Christ, he also told some matters related to the spirituality. He did not teach the matters who already explained. So whatever the matters he revealed to the people, they are new. So the same way Swami is also revealing us the sensational matters related to the spirituality, spiritual education, and he never explained any matter it was already taught by somebody else. So all his writings are having specialities in that, and we could grasp that. So Gita means it's the line which was drawn. So who drew that line? If we have a question, who drew that line? So the answer is God drew that line. Uh, God is invisible. Then how he drew the line? So the answer is we are not visible, though we embodied the body. So we are inside the body. We are making the lines with our hands. In the same way, God also made the line with the body of nature. So why don't you think that? After that, there is another question. So mortal soul is not visible, God is not visible, but the line which he drew with a visible body is there. And you are saying that he drew the line with a nature, so that should be visible, right? So we don't see anywhere that is the question they ask us. And also there are some intelligent people, they also get some kind of thought, and they say that you are saying about Lord Krishna who he drew the line, he also having the body like us, and he whatever the teachings he made, that is in the form of book. And also they say that so God is not like us. So even though God takes a human form, so that human form is not like our human body form. And even though he drew the line with his body, so why it is not visible to us? That is the question they may ask. So we have the answer for that. Let us see the answer. Some people might have the Bhagavad Gita scripture with them. Some people might not have that. But the line which was drawn by the God is with everybody. That is also with all the creatures as well. So that the border or the line is not away from the mortal soul. So as a mortal soul, it will be always attached to us. So when you when you think about a country, so there are so many countries in this world. Each country have their own border line. So if you just by seeing the border line you are able to guess which country is having this border and all. And also each country is having their own charter with them. uh, Charter or statute. uh, Statute we can say. So the same way, if you take India is also having the border about around its perimeter. So the similar way in this world there are so many creatures. Each creature is having some area. So according to this, a human being is also having the body. His body is also having some area. So as there is a border to the nation or country, the similar way, human being is also having the border or perimeter around his body. And also every country is having their own charter. The similar way, every body has the uh, charter inside their body is called dharmas, the charter of dharmas. Yeah, righteousness we can say. So the charter of any country is applicable inside that country. In the similar way, the charter uh, of the body is applicable to inside the body only. So as there is a king to any country, so to a body the mortal soul is the king, and the mortal soul is having he got about 25 people who follows his orders. As the king sitting at one place and ordering his army and his administration to do ruling the country. In the similar way, um, with his administration, the mortal soul is ruling his body with his administration inside the body itself. So within the country, there is a charter which tells about its administration and all. In the similar way, inside the body there is a mechanism which will be known through the uh, dharmas inside the body. And the charter is within the limits of the border of the country. In the similar way, the righteousness is also inside the border of the body. As there is a justice and injustice in the charter, and also in the righteousness inside our body, there are merits and the sins. So as the country is able to decide which is justice, which is injustice, in the similar way, the righteousness inside the body is deciding the sin and merits. So when we see the border of the country, we are able to tell about which country is that, and also what kind of charter it follows. In the similar way, if we look at the border of the body, we can come to know that which kind of body it is and what kind of righteousness is there inside. So what kind of charter is containing this particular country is based on its border. In the same way, what kind of righteousness is there in the body is based on its border of the body. So in order to know the righteousness inside the body, you must know it inside your body itself. If you come out of the body, you cannot know the righteousness, anything. So the Gita, which will clearly explains you about the physical matters and the subtle matters, so that you will know from the Bhagavad Gita. And also every verse or sloka taught in Bhagavad Gita reveals about the dharmas or righteousness, and also they are within the border of the body itself. They did not even cross anything outside the border of the body. So the border of the body or perimeter of the body is the that contains the righteousness. So the Gita was taught within the border of the body itself. And also the Bhagavad Gita is taught in the form of Bhagavan, so that is called Bhagavad Gita. So let us stop here and we'll continue the next in the next week. Let us do Mangalam and finish our session. Om Mangalam Gurudevaya Mahaniya Prabodhatmane Sarvaloka Sharanyaya Sadhurupaya Mangalam. Prabodharpanam to all.